Jamal Hill cannot afford to lose, my brother, and I'm going to be going with him to KO Khalil Rountree in the absolute banger of a main event that we got for UFC Baku, man. Today I'm going to be giving y'all my main event breakdown for this fight going down for this weekend, man. And it's a banger here, okay? But like I said, I'm going with the underdog of Jamal Hill here to win by KO. And if Khalil Rountree wins, which a lot of people are going with him, I think it's going to end via KO for him as well. No matter what, I don't think this is going to be going the distance. And if it does, it's a goddamn shock. Because both these guys hit hard and both of them are going to be bringing a pretty heavy pace. They have a lot to prove because whoever wins this one is going to get a big fight in action. They're going to get to remain in the upper echelon of the division, the shallow division for sure, all right? And the loser of this is going to be fighting down the rankings, and they honestly might never get a crack in the top 5 again. We're going to have to see how their careers go. But man, for this fight specifically, I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be a stand and bang war. And don't get me wrong, I think if anybody's going to be able to mix it up and try and take the fight to the ground, it's gonna be Khalil Rountree. It seems like in the interviews building up to this and stuff, it seems like he's kind of hinting at something where he can kind of break Jamal Hill anywhere on the feet and on the ground. But honestly, knowing Khalil Rountree, especially in his past couple of performances, he isn't really the type to be shooting takedowns. And then you have Jamal Hill, who's never shot a goddamn takedown yet in the UFC. So I feel like this is just gonna primarily play out on the feet, which makes it pretty simple to break down here, man. But the reason why I'm going with Jamal Hill, okay, what really convinced me, because I want to say this, until today when I'm recording it and I'm sitting at work and I'm like, man, I've been going with Khalil Rountree for the past couple months, but like there was something in my mind that's just like, why am I not picking Hill? Because I realized that I'm going into this thinking, okay, maybe Jamal Hill's chin, it's not going to be the same. He got knocked out by Pereira and he got knocked out by Prohajka. And you have a guy like Khalil Rountree who gave Alex Pereira his toughest test ever for the belt until Big Ang fucking took it off of him. But you know what I'm saying? And it made me realize, dude, I'm just assuming, all right? And I feel like a lot of people are just assuming that Jamal Hill's chin is shit and that he's going to go and just not be able to hang in there with Khalil's biggest shots. And also just getting really caught up in the hype of Khalil Rountree, he was able to give a war against Pereira, and Pereira knocked out Jamal Hill in one round. I was taking the MMA math a little bit too seriously here, man, but I feel like people forget, man. Jamal Hill actually knows how to fucking scrap. There was a reason why I was damn near pick-em odds going against Yuri Prohajka, and that was just earlier this year. So taking all the assumptions and all the bullshit out of here, man, I really do think that Jamal Hill has the necessary skills and the necessary advantages to be able to take out Khalil, man, because Khalil's a fucking dog. I gotta give it to him. It's not that easy to go and make it very competitive against Pereira in their opening couple of rounds, and he did that. He's a really good Muay Thai artist who knows how to carry a heavy pace, and he hits like a truck, and I feel like the guy does have solid cardio. Not the greatest in the world, but Khalil Rountree, in terms of a pure striker here, man, like the guy is good, but Jamal Hill, I could say the same fucking thing about, and don't get me wrong, he is one of the weakest UFC champions of all time, and yes, his skill set isn't super crazy comparatively to a lot of guys like a Prohajka, like a Pereira, or a Big Ank. Like all those guys would beat him, but they would do the exact same thing to Khalil Rountree. Like Pereira beat Rountree. If you put him in there against Big Ank, Big Ank's beating his ass. Prohajka would be knocking him out as well. You know what I mean? So I feel like people are just kind of forgetting that Hill knows how to scrap and that he is a really good fighter. He's going to have the size and reach advantage in general. He's the taller fighter by a bit, and he does have a few inches of reach. And I think since again this fight is going to be playing out on the feet, and both these guys are going to be figuring out each other's reins, and they might be a bit scared at first to get in the pocket with each other, knowing how hard they fucking hit. I mean, man, that's gonna play into Jamal Hill's favor here. And I feel like even if you remove the size differential, which isn't by too much, but even if you get that out of the equation, when I'm looking at the losses in the UFC, besides the big Paul Craig loss, right? We don't want to talk about it, but in general, Jamal Hill's only lost to, yes, Paul Craig, but also Prohajka and Pereira, as elite as the division gets. And then you have Khalil Rountree. He's getting knocked out by Ian Cutelaba. He's getting knocked out by Johnny Walker. And again, he's just got more losses on the record in general here, man. But in terms of going against Hill, I think that Jamal Hill has a little bit more of that, I don't want to say cardio differential here, because again, both these guys kind of have gone to the distance here and there, and I feel like Jamal Hill, though, has more of that 5-round experience. He did it against Thiago Santos, I believe. He did it against Glover Teixeira, and he was prepping for a 5-round camp going against a guy like Pereira. Didn't fucking make it that far. Chama, a bunch of that bullshit, but it is what it is, man. Jamal Hill, I feel like, is going to have more of that 5-round experience, so maybe I would lean towards him for the cardio advantage here. And then in terms of his technical striking IQ, man, I like what I see out of him in terms of the boxing. It's not not too crazy and it's not too good compared to the lighter weight classes. The flyweight through welterweights, or even damn, I want to say the middleweights, they are just the superior strikers compared to the big boys, man. It's just less impressive of divisions up there. They're slower, they're more stiff, it's a lot less technical, they do rely more on the power, and it's just a bit sloppier up there, like I'm saying. But in terms of the light heavyweights and the heavyweights, Jamal Hill is a good boxer, man. Defensively and offensively, he's very fucking sound. He's got good timing, and he lands fucking clean. He's the more accurate striker. Even if you want to argue that Khalil hits harder, I think it's kind of close. You can kind of go back and forth on who has more power over the other, but in terms of just the timing and in terms of the accuracy, it does go to Jamal Hill here, man. So I think that he's going to be able to hang in there against Khalil Rountree for the opening couple of rounds, and he's going to need to. He's going to need to survive the fucking storm, because the weakness, if any, here for Jamal Hill, it's going to be the chin vulnerability, man. Because yes, he's coming off of that brutal loss against Prochazka, and yes, he's coming off of, he's been knocked out before, and so is Rountree, but Rountree just has the momentum on his side right now, and he's going to be confident as all fuck, and he's going to prove that, okay, well, I went out there and gave Pereira a huge test. I'm going to go out there and show this motherfucker what's what. And Jamal Hill, I mean, dude, this guy's fighting for his career. I started the damn video by saying he cannot afford to lose, because he really can't, man, because that 2-fight losing streak turned into 3 is a really fucking bad look. And like I said, he's going to be fighting someone in between that like 11 and 15 range after that if he loses this one. And Rountree's going to get a big name like an Oldberg or a fucking Prochazka or something like that. You know what I mean? Timing is everything, but you know what I'm saying? So for Jamal Hill, if his chin is going to be able to hang in there, because people forget, man, like Prochazka rocked him in the first round as well. He gave a lot of adversity to him, and he was landing heavy as fuck, okay? And I understand it's big, bad, improved striking defense and actually applying head movement. Let's go for that. I am a bit, how I say, less autistic for this fight. Yuri Prochazka went out there and actually fighting a bit smarter or whatever and was rocking Jamal Hill in that first round, but Hill was able to survive it. And with a guy that is as good as Yuri and powerful as Yuri, that says a lot, and then bounced back in the second round and was able to win that round. I understand there was a couple of timeouts for different reasons and all that, and then he got knocked out in the third, but Jamal Hill was able to bounce back from that adversity. So I think Khalil Rountree is going to be the more explosive fighter from early on. I think he's going to land the heavier shots in round 1, and maybe I dare motherfucking say round 2, but if Jamal Hill's chin really is able to hang in there and it's not as vulnerable as me and a lot of other people were saying or are saying right now, I think it'll be just enough to where he can use that 5-round experience and can use that championship level experience. I know that Rountree has a bit now as well, but again, like I was saying earlier, Hill does have a bit more here, to where I think that if the second round halfway through hits or once the third round starts, then he's going to really need to put on a heavy pace as well, because he is much more of the volume striker. Like, yeah, they both hit hard, but in terms of who's throwing the higher output and who has more volume, it is Jamal Hill here. Khalil Rountree, again, he's not as accurate. He is a high pressure fighter. He wants to get the fuck after it right away and try and maintain it, but he does throw less volume and he does miss more. And I think with Jamal Hill, if he's able to find all the right shots and survive the fucking storm that Rountree's going to bring, he's going to be intense right out of the fucking gate and trying to take Jamal Hill's head off inside of 2 rounds. But if Jamal Hill can survive that, which I think, and I'm hoping that he will, I do think that he'll be able to take over in the third and knock out Rountree here. Because like I said, no matter who's winning this, it's going to end in some kind of knockout. And again, Rountree could totally get this done. He's the favorite for a reason. Most people are going with him in terms of his strengths, man. He also has really good physicality and aggression, man. Like, the guy gets the fuck after it. He's a southpaw brawler who knows how to bully guys in there, especially once they get in that tight-knit range, in that close range, and really get into the pocket. That's kind of where Khalil Rountree shines. That's where he's going to be the more comfortable fighter here. And his power is fucking explosive, man. Like, we've all seen the highlight reel KOs. This motherfucker is scary, bro, all right? He lands devastating to the body. He has a nice couple of KOs. So, man, Khalil Rountree's power is crazy. But going back to the weaknesses here, man, there are a few lapses in his judgment at times, and there are a bit of holes in his defense this time, because, yes, his defense, it can be solid. Like I'm saying earlier, when people are throwing heavy shit at him, he kind of knows how to survive the storm. But also there's times where if he's super uncomfortable in there, man, he can lack a bit, or he can heavily kind of step off of the gas, and he's not too great on the back foot. And he is very hittable, especially when he's kind of going up there against more so elite strikers. And I think the fact that he does throw less volume and he is less accurate, and he kind of can get overwhelmed by other guys' pace if he's not the one setting it at the time. I think that might be able to bite him in the ass here, man. So for Jamal Hill, I think his path to victory here, he's going to have to utilize his range and he's going to have to maintain a high volume, okay? Kind of make Rountree uncomfortable the entire time, because again, he's going to come out crazy as fuck that first round. So if he's able to outpoint Rountree by circling, jabbing, and kind of just imposing whatever pace he wants, that's going to be his path here. He's going to want to push late. Okay, again, survive the first round or two and then really kind of set the tone and frustrate Rountree and slow him down and really kind of securing the rounds later on through 3, 4, and motherfucking 5. I sound like a rejected Dr. Seuss book, but you know what I'm fucking saying. And then maybe get that late kind of TKO here, because Jamal Hill knocked out Thiago Santos in the 4th round. He's been up there and he looked better and better as the fight progressed against Teixeira. So he has a comfortable experience in that 4th and 5th, whereas going against, what's his fucking name? Alex Pereira for Rountree. Yes, he started really strong in the first 2 rounds. He's a motherfucking marauder, as Rogan likes to say. But once that 3rd round hit, you could definitely tell that Rountree was slowing down a lot and Pereira was just piecing him the fuck apart. And I don't mean to just keep referring in terms of Rountree's recent experience to the Alex Pereira performance, but man, when you're looking at shit before that, it's like his best win was Anthony Smith and Chris Dawkins, you know what I mean? And then he went to a split decision with Dustin Jacoby, which a lot of people thought was a robbery and that Jacoby won. So you got to work with me here, because we're not dealing with too much for Rountree here, man. So the Pereira thing, that's why I mentioned him, because that's the longest he's gone into a fight, and also on top of that, that's by far his best caliber of competition here, and I think that's why a lot of people are going with him. But another thing for Jamal Hill he's going to need to do is try and avoid those big shots early, or really just kind of be very cautious, preserve the chin, and survive the storm. And for Khalil Rountree, his path to victory here, he's going to want to stick inside, okay? I know I was saying that Jamal Hill is going to want to utilize the range and try and piece him apart, but for Khalil Rountree, he's going to want to do the opposite. He's going to want to really close the distance. He's going to want to shut down Jamal Hill's jab and just unleash fucking power bombs on him, dude. He's going to want to launch an earlier finish, okay? Land fast, land hard, and ideally kind of catch Hill before he has time to warm up into the fight. I feel like those first 2 rounds, that's where Rountree's going to shine, and later on it's where Hill's going to shine. So yeah, he's going to want to launch that early finish and make Hill very uncomfortable from the start, because Hill, yes, he can bounce back from adversity, kind of like he did Ish in the Prochazka fight, like I said, from the 1st to the 2nd round, but he's not too crazy at adjusting to guys mid-game plan, or when guys are really just overwhelming him or shit and they're making him uncomfortable in there. Hill's not the best at adjusting to their styles and changing up the game plan a bit. So for Rountree, make him uncomfortable as fuck right from the get-go, and also dig to the body, you know what I mean? Land nice leg kicks and just good body work in general to limit Jamal Hill's mobility, so that he's not able to really summon that fucking power that he's going to need in the later rounds, man. So overall, man, I really like this matchup. I think it's an absolute banger, and I cannot wait for it. And I could totally see Rountree winning this. Again, until today, if I wasn't just sitting and twiddling my fucking thumbs at work, and I'm just thinking about the birds and the bees, baby, and I'm like, all right, Jesus Christ, maybe Jamal Hill's got a real chance here. I think I'm going to go with him. I did have Khalil Rountree for the past couple of months in the build up to this, so, and I was confident in it, but man, there's a little something in the air where I'm going to be going with Jamal Hill as a nice underdog. He's sitting right now as a plus 120, and I think that he's going to be able to knock out Khalil Rountree. I could totally see Rountree getting it done. By all means, he's the favorite for a reason, but I'm going to be trusting in the experience of Jamal Hill. And truly, people forget, man, this guy knows how to fucking scrap, and he is a good boxer. Not the best we've ever fucking seen, and again, his ground game isn't too much. He does have good takedown defense, but so does Rountree. I mean, not as good, but you know what I'm saying. And again, if anybody's going to mix it up in this fight and really try and take it to the ground, it would be Rountree. So anyways, man, that is going to be it here, man, for my main event breakdown for Jamal Hill and Khalil Rountree. Let me know what you think in the comments below, man. I would love to hear it. Who do you got winning? How do you think they're going to get it done? Let me know in the comments below, man. It's a great fight. If you guys want to hear my full card predictions, I'm going to be posting them the day of the actual fights. I'm not going to be doing a predictions video for this one, unfortunately. I'm just busy as fuck with work this week, but yeah, I'm really excited for the card. I think it's great. Atlanta was a fucking stinker and it was disappointing, so I think Baku is going to be up a little bit more to the hype. I feel like it's going to be a fantastic card. So if you guys want my full card predictions, follow me on Instagram at AllTheSmokeMMA, and the day of the fights I'm going to be dropping my picks. So thank you guys so very much for making it this far in the video, man. Giving me your time and attention. I really fucking appreciate it, man. Drop a like, hit subscribe, means the fucking world to me. But in general, thank you so very much for giving me your time, man. Hope you have a good time watching the fights this weekend, boys. All the smoke here. Appreciate you all a lot, and I will see you all next time.